for another cosmic therapy session. How about mode of cosmic therapy? And for all of you who are new, I hope you just settle back and enjoy the next hour of spontaneous, energetic fun, cosmic fun, universal fun, the brotherhood of man fun, if you will, a global expansion of mind fun. Fun, 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 fun. Let's start off with that, Mitzi. Hello, Mitzi, behind the camera. I'm so glad to have you here today. And Sandy, both of you, I love you to pieces, and I'm so happy that it has arrived and I am here. Am I not here? Half of me is here. And maybe that's a principle. Maybe that is what happens when we are not conscious of our lives. Fun. You are in the middle of fun. And if you're not, you should be. Our whole life should be, and is, in fact, one continuing experimental journey of fun. For those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, you will see I use a lot of numerology. I love it. I love finding out what makes up the vibrational formations of words using numbers. Let's see. I ended another show talking about 5. 5, 5, 5. Movement, life, physical movement, physical activity in your life should be filled with fun. All right, let's see. What I usually do, and I'm going to start off doing this today, within this hour, I have no idea of what I'm going to say. I don't follow any kind of pattern or structure or guideline, outline. I just do whatever comes natural for me. If it's convenient and it feels right, I think on one of my shows I talked about feelings and being in tune with feelings. I just follow it. And whatever happens will be intricately. I was going to say intimately, so I said them both. It will be intricately and intimately connected, involved, intertwined. Woo! And sometimes we get messages that blow the tops of our heads off in relevance. So with this one, I'm going to write it on the board. I'm going to write it on the board. If, let's emphasize that if, you, who is in the middle of fun, remember? If you want, that would be desire, yearn, look forward to, okay, if you want something from someone, you will suffer. If you want something from someone, you will suffer. How can that possibly be? We're going to find out. If you want something from someone, you will suffer. Well, let's break down want. Even though I have very quickly given a specific definition of it, let's see numerically what we're talking about. My Sharpie came apart. Okay, we got a 1 here, okay, and we got a 12. All right, so that's 2. 13. You are going to suffer a death and a transformation. If you want something from someone, you are going to suffer a death and transformation of yourself, those desires, those yearnings. Now, how will you suffer? I really like those F's. Today they look like trees to me. They look like trees. So I'm probably going to digest. Digest. You know I'm going to do that. We have to digest and dissect. Dissect, yeah. All right, suffer. It's at 19, it's the sun, but I'm going to use it as 1. 3, 6, 6, 5, 9. So we got an 8. Woo! So that tells me right there that there's some sex, death, and money issues going on. Okay? At the heart of suffering. Sex, death, and money is at the heart of suffering. It is also tied to wanting. All right, what do we got? We've got a 13, we got a 22. Is that right now? Yeah, 22. Making a 30. Big business is this suffering deal. Why is it big business? Because we glamorize it. We characterize it. We identify so much with it that it becomes the premise upon which we base all of our words and our actions and our associations, because we're trying to prevent suffering and include something that is not suffering oriented. Well, that would be a little bit hard to do if sex is involved with it, death is involved with it, and money is involved with it. Oh, for those of you, just for a sideline, how did I come up with the fact that it was big business? Off of that number 30. 30 always indicates big business. Your mind is geared towards big business, not small enterprises. You are globally inclined. Whew, that sounded like a song, didn't it, honey? Globally inclined. So whenever you see that whenever you see that number, just think of that whatever I'm dealing with right now, if 30 has appeared, there's a lot of far-reaching tentacles that are attached to this particular project. And for those of you who are born on the 30th, you must know that you are wonderful in non-personal affairs. Not so good in intimacy, because your energy is to expand beyond your present, isolated and secluded and desirous, begging bowl mind. Begging bowl, Mitzi. Now we're getting into some deep stuff, ain't we? Did you bring my boots? I'll get back to you in a minute, begging bowl. Okay. So, digest for a moment. If I had a piece of that delicious, what is it called? That chocolate cake with the ice cream in the center of it and that hot fudge sauce on it and that whipped cream, and I would be enjoying it. I mean, I'd be enjoying it globally, I can tell you. But I'd have to digest it, okay? My body, well, that's not accurate. My body would immediately begin to digest it. Running these two words together. Dissect it. While it is being digested, I, in the process, am being dissected, because prior to eating the cake was my state of body without the cake. After I have taken it, consumed it, now I have the body with the cake. Are you following me? So it has been altered. At all times, we are being altered. It is a big business. Every time you put a piece of chewing gum in your mouth, you're being altered. Every time you turn on the radio and you start singing a song, you are being altered. That is suffering. But some people think, no, suffering is bad. It is so bad. You know, you lose people through death, or you don't get enough sex, or you don't have enough money. That's suffering. You are suffering every time that you are alive, because your body is this big burning machine that is having to take in and filter out all of the things that you can't possibly think of and not be destroyed from past, and all of those things that you're trying to create and get to sooner than you're able to contain them, in the midst of interacting with people, telling the truth, lying, making the story bigger or worse, depending upon whether you want to be a victim or a saint, and all of the various other interactions that you have throughout the day. All of these things, you are part of this evolutionary process of suffering, of change, if you will. Seasons change, people don't. You know, that's where the trees came in, honey, because those trees, you know, I can see out my balcony, this gorgeous, gorgeous woods, and these trees are filled with these beautiful, beautiful buds and everything, and then they turn into flowers and leaves, and then through the summer, you know, as it moves on to fall, they start to turn colors, then they get to that dry brown stage of a leaf and they fall to the ground, okay? The entire time that bud formed the flower and then bloomed big, then started to diminish and fall, was a part and process of suffering. Living is suffering. Suffering in the most glorious of ways, not in a demented and terrible, and I'm being left out and I'm hurting and I don't know what's going to be, I've got to worry about it kind of way. But let's get back. What are we talking about, Mitzi? I've gone to my trees before. Okay, if you want something from someone, you will suffer. You will be transformed. Just like that tree and those leaves. But those little buds that come out on that knotty branch, on each one of them, they're all, each one, going to have their time to shine and live and bloom, and then they're going to die. And they're going to fall to the ground, and the next crop is coming. Okay? Remember that. They are part of the process of all of the seasons of change. Every crop of little teeny buds are different, but they're the same. Do you know what I said? They're different, but they're the same, because they are all leaves. Now let's see how we'll take, I've got to get back to that, huh? So we were talking about leaves, and we're talking about trees. And we're talking about if you want something from somebody, you're going to suffer. So let's see. How about that, Mitzi? That's almost the Saturn, ain't it? But it's an L. It's supposed to be an L, but I saw Saturn in it. Anyway, leaves. Let's go with it. There's that 22. What was the other word? I said you couldn't take it out. Wait a minute. What'd you say, babe? What's that first one? That had the 22 in it? Where's it at? I'm sure it's there. Sulfur is 22. Oh, yeah, the 22. But, I mean, I did another word sometime that had the V in it. Who knows? Okay, another show. But you can never reduce the V. Never, ever, ever. Just remember that. All right, so what are we doing? We are doing leaves. All right, 5 and 1. We got 11 here going on, and we got 25, 26. 25, 26. That 37 again. Now, I will give you a little bit of comical information, if that's how you want to take it. Or you can take it literally and apply it to your life, and it might open up something. Depends on where you're coming from. 371. That is a magical number. A very highly evolved number. And anytime that you see it arise, it means that there is transformation in progress. Of course, it means a whole lot of other things too, but that's as much as I'm going to disclose today. Okay, so we know that leaves are part of this suffering. We know that when we're wanting something from somebody, we may be saying, hurry up and give it to me before they've had time to bloom. Or we're saying, don't die. We have no control over that. Or we're saying, you're not doing enough. Your bloom is not big enough. It is as big as it can be at the moment that he or she is at. Okay. 2, 9, 5, 5, 1. 11, got it 12.